Ocelot Records 10-year reunion to benefit the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. June 13th, Faces Brewing Company, Malden, Massachusetts. Come reunite with friends of old and new with a star-studded lineup with Oh the Humanity, Dead Cats, Dead Rats, A Minor Revolution, The Hideout, and The Digs. This is an all-ages show. Get your tickets for Ocelot Records 10-year reunion to benefit the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute at facesbrewing.com.
You're listening to the Struggling Artist Podcast.
People need to be entertained. They need the distraction.
With your host, Trev Allen.
I wish to God that somebody would do something to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes.
Hello, everybody. Today we are talking to Dead Cats, Dead Rats as part of the Ocelot Records 10-year reunion show on June 13th. I know you just heard the ad, so I'm not going to get into the whole details. This was awesome. I love these guys. They have a great sound, very unique sound, and I hope you guys enjoy the episode. This is episode 430 of the Struggling Artist Podcast, Struggling with Dead Cats, Dead Rats. Talking to bands, it's because I found them somehow, some way, and it always like it's different doing something like this because like I've heard you guys before, but like I hadn't really dug into anything. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of these bands that Steve sent me, so I'm happy to now because like when I was part of a record club that from State Line Records, and that's how I first heard like the Digs. And so like that was like my introduction to what Steve was doing and with the label and everything. So I missed some of the stuff because like my only exposure, because I was traveling, was from the record club for a while. So but I think this is like I went and listened to your guys' stuff since I had talked to Steve and we had set this up. And I listened to like to your latest things, like probably the first 4 like latest things on your Bandcamp. And then today I got a chance to go back and go from the beginning. And I got to say like the self-titled record is so good.
With the flag on it.
Yeah. That one. Yeah. That first song, cause like, the first 3 tracks I listened to were like, I think there were singles or no, it was two singles and like an EP raw. And I loved that stuff. But then like when I went all the way back, like you could hear it was a little bit different from what the later stuff was, but it's still your sound, which I like. But what really got me was that first track on you guys' self-title, the Elevator. It is so unhinged, which is right up my alley. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so. I felt like that song just sounds like a panic attack.
Yeah, yeah, it really does. It really does. I tried to listen to. I was listening to Monsters right before we came on, but I ran out of time to like finish it. But no, that was solid too. Everything I've heard you guys do is awesome. So I say that, and now I'm going to ask like, when did you guys start? Like when did you guys start making music together? When did Dead Cats, Dead Rats kind of come about, you know?
Poochie, do it.
All right.
I'll fill it if need. Yeah.
All right. We'll start at the beginning. So me and Chris have been playing since we were 16, just about. I think maybe Chris was not quite 6, but we were like, neither one of us had a license because our first jam, we met at his like locker, and his older brother drove us to his house after school, and we played. I think so. I knew that Chris, like, I'm a grade above Chris. I think I knew that he played bass, and I didn't know anyone else that played bass. But I knew he played bass, and at the time I had an uncle who was kind of like at the tail end of owning and running a recording studio. So I try to fluff up some of the reasons why he should jam with me. I think I found his AOL screen name.
You're baiting him in.
For my friend who was on ski team with him. And so I found him online, on AOL, whatever it was then. And I was like, hey, I got these songs, we should jam. I got an uncle who owns a recording studio, and I can get us shows in Boston. And I think I said New York. I'm not sure why I said that, but that was definitely a lie. But yeah, so we jammed then, we kind of playing ever since. So we like, I'd say we were in this band called 80 Proof for a while, and then that's how we met Travis, because we were all playing at this awesome spot in Gloucester. It was I'm not sure what it was really called. It was just the Gloucester Art Space. It may have actually had a different name, but there was like a bunch of cool like North Shore bands. Like, we didn't realize it was cool at the time, but looking back on it, that was like the closest thing we ever really had to like a scene. Like early on, it was all ages. There was tons of high school
You'd
kids
have like
drinking whiskey out of
7
Coke
or 8
bottles and
bands that
stuff.
all knew each other and played there.
And yeah, so we were playing. Travis's band was playing. A bunch of our other friends' band, like all the friends we've made in bands, like kind of started, I think, first from playing those shows. But that band that Chris and I had, that was kind of more like the first half of college, I guess, kind of like high school up to maybe early 20s, like 2021. And then that band kind of dwindled apart, and Chris and I wanted to start a kind of more of like a heavier band. Like our other band was kind of more like Sublime. I think we like wished we were like Sublime. We were just a shitty pop punk ska thing, but not like cool,
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we started Dead Cats Dead Rats, and we originally had a different drummer for the first maybe year or two, and when that kind of fizzled out, Travis was, I don't know if he was definitely I think he was the first person we asked, but he was definitely a person we tried to nab. I think he was just in between bands. And weren't you, Travis, when we first hooked up?
I was like,
or did we poach you from a band?
I think a bunch of the kids were like going to college, and Mutt was still playing, but like the other kids were like heavy into Robitussin and fucked up shit. And you guys asked if I wanted
Travis
to like come
is
and play.
younger
And I was
than
like,
us.
oh, like I
So,
grew
yeah,
up
those
playing
Art
punk rock and
Space
ska and
days.
stuff like that. Like, it'd be fun again.
Yeah. Travis was what? You were in high school during that, weren't you, Travis?
I must have been out, because our first tour I was not 21.
No, I'm saying
we, like,
the Art Space days when we met you. You were in high school.
Yeah, I was like 15 or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. So Trav's, Poochie's a year older than me. Trav's younger. And so me and Poochie were out of college where this band kind of Dead Cat started. And our other drummer just couldn't really like play consistently. Well, sorry, whatever with that. And so I asked Trav, and yeah, he was still only like 20. So that, and like, yeah, I remember like you were playing with Mutt, but it was just, half of your band was just pounding Robitussin all the time. So it's kind of a half band right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not bashing the pills ourselves either. Like, trust me. Like, like I'll drink like 7,000 beers. I'm not throwing stones. But yeah.
Like half Mutt was like orbiting like Jupiter or something.
Yeah.
It was, but even then, like, the Art Space was like a special thing. There was just the same kids you would see once or twice a month, and then like, I don't know, it was my intro to like into drinking and like everything else and stuff like that. And like it was like a safe space. It was fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe we all got away with that. Like, that guy definitely knew that, like, didn't we kind of pay for his hip? I think the guy that owned the Art Space, like, he needed like a replacement hip or something like that. And I think he just turned a blind eye to all the underage drinking and drug use, because it was like a packed show every weekend. And it was definitely like, I'm sure we were like making money for him. Yeah.
I feel like even though we look back on it, we like hid it pretty well. It's funny that like teenagers made an effort to hide it. And then once you're in like your mid-20s, there'd be kids just like drinking like beer like in front of the venue, and the bouncer's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and so the teenagers, I give us credit. Like you would hide it like in the McDonald's cup at least.
Yeah.
So
There was a
just-
McDonald's right next door,
Yeah.
which was tea.
Yeah.
Or then a 7-Eleven, you get a big gulp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big gulps. Yeah.
What year was this? Like what year did you guys get going with the band?
07.
Yeah, I think we probably started Dead Cats in 07. I think that self-titled album, I think that came out in 2008, but we had a little 3 or 4 song thing. I don't even know if it's online. But
And we were only playing on breaks. Our drummer wasn't going to school in Florida. So it's kind of like we'd play in the summer, and me and Matt would just like still like write and just jam with random people, not for the band. So it's like, yeah, those
That's
first
right.
couple years, like 07 to like almost 2009, 10, it's like, it wasn't like we're just like jamming on school breaks in summer and like making records. And then like, just like me and Poochie would still just jam with random people, not band wise, just always playing and going to shows. And then once we were all home from college, then we're like, all right, like now let's play all the time type thing. So that kind of fills it in.
Yeah, but now that I'm thinking about this, Woolsey, I think you're right. Like, I think the first 2 DCDR albums, I think we just recorded during like Christmas break or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we'd book shows for like spring or whatever. And
Yeah.
then once we were all done, like once our drummer was back from Florida, I feel like it was only probably that summer. And then it was probably not
Yeah.
something like that. I feel like I feel like we got a lot done on paper without really being in the same spot. I kind of forgot all about that.
I think
and
the
then once
fact
we're kind of,
that things, yeah.
Consistent with the band is we just got a lot done in a little bit amount of time.
Well, it's because we had those gaps to organize going to record, to organize setting up the shows, because we weren't like just smoking weed and dicking off playing. And then once everyone was back, it was like everything was booked. And then just like, then it's like, yeah, then we probably weren't as responsible as we could be, but we were also like kids. So it was fun. Yeah.
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 Did you guys like play out a lot like outside of New England or whatever, or?
a few times. I mean, we did maybe 3 or 4 tours, let's call them. I mean, never past like, I think as far west as we ever went was like Illinois and Texas.
That's
We
good.
kind of did like, we probably did, I want to say 2 or 3 kind of loops where we like a friend of ours lived in Arkansas and Little Rock. Another friend lived in Asheville, North Carolina. So we definitely had a show in those 2 spots, and we'd fill in the rest. Like my brother-in-law was living in Austin. So we like played a show down there, stayed at his house. And so just, we didn't have a ton of connections everywhere, but we'd have a few, and we would just try to just fill them in. But yeah, but we didn't do it as often as as I would have liked. At least it was fun. But
we would try to do just like, we would play obviously the Boston East Mass, and then try to play in Western Mass where me and Matt went to school. And then we tried to do like New York and like hit things like that. We tried to do, or like Southern New Hampshire and like Lowell. So it's like we would play across like New England or like get to New York. And then, yeah, we didn't tour outside of New England a bunch at all. Like really.
No.
So.
Now I gotta ask, like, is it a coincidence that the name is the same as a Doors song, or are you guys like big Doors
No.
fans?
all right, so the name, so when we were in that original kind of high school band that I was mentioning, 80 Proof, playing at that Gloucester Art Space, like that band didn't, like I think I said it was kind of like a shitty pop punk ska band, but we kind of played a bunch of stuff and so we were also like really into Led Zeppelin. So like we had a few songs that were kind of like Zeppelin type songs, and like our buddy Rob was really into Zeppelin, so he sang on like maybe 1 or 2 songs. But then when 80 Proof ended, for a while, for maybe like that summer or a couple months, we were just jamming with the band that became Dead Cats Dead Rats, but I wasn't really singing yet. We were just kind of like jamming and playing covers and like fucking off in Chris's dad's old barn. And our buddy Rob would come and sing, and we were doing like kind of like Zeppelin covers and like blues jams. And he was like, "Oh, we should call this Dead Cats Dead Rats," because he was really into the Doors.
Yeah.
So when we were jamming with him, we were like, I don't think we played any shows. We were like unofficially calling it Dead Cats Dead Rats. And I think once we started the band, we were like thinking of a few different names. We're like, dude, that's the coolest name we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
It's so good. And so I think we just like asked our friend, like, dude, like, do you mind if we just like take that name? And he's such a nice kid. He's like, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, great. And I feel like we used him a couple of times in the studio when like, hey, so what's the name of this song? Like, we just call it the new one. He's like, all right, well, you need a name. I think there's at least 2 or 3 times we would just text that kid Rob, like, Rob, quick, we need a band song. I'm a song, and it would be instant. He'd write back, Rocket Seed, Coil Eyes, or something. I'm like, that's
He did
fucking
the
perfect.
artwork for Monsters.
He's so quick. He's still like that now. If I texted him right now for a name, he'd write back in a second with something
That's
incredible.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So like the sound, the Dead Cats, Dead Rats to me, especially at the time frame when you guys were like, like coming up with this music and everything, it was a very unique sound for that time. I feel like, cause you guys have a little more of a grungier and like dirty garage rock kind of sound than what was going on around that time. Right. Like, was there influences that kind of like that you guys were into to the point where you want to do that, or did you guys did that sound just kind of like, was it it just kind of, this is what came out, you know what I mean?
Honestly, I think the biggest influence for the idea for like just playing that like sporadic Panic type of heavy kind of chaos thing was, again, like bringing it back to that Gloucester art space, like little scene we had. This band, Pile, the band Pile.
Yeah,
You ever heard? All right, so Rick from Pile, his band before Pile was called Hell Toro. I don't know if you're familiar with them, if you ever heard them, but Hell Toro was one of the bands in that scene that would play with us, and they were so much fucking harder. Like all of us would play, and it was kind of like bubblegum skateboard music, and they would just come and like peel the paint off the walls. It was just insane, and it was like, so we were just kind of like, dude, like all of us are a bunch of little boys next to this. Like we like, fuck it, this shit rocks. We should like, like play like we're about to fucking like panic or I don't know. It was
very aggressive.
They definitely made us want to play heavier, and so that's I feel like that was a big influence for us at the time, as far as like a local influence. And we always loved like grunge and Foo Fighters, and we really got into like Queens of the Stone Age and Misfits and all that. Is really what shaped our songwriting and stuff, I think, as we kind of went on. But the original idea for the band like definitely was influenced by our friends Hell Toro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was like when we were teenagers, we got into like skater punk and all like the Vans Warped Tour stuff. And that as we we were kind of like, yeah, but that 90s punk rock. And then like as we got older, it's like we definitely hit like a like reggae and ska, and we're like playing all classic rock. And then like when we came out of that, went back to punk rock, was more like Nirvana, like Territorial, like Pissings, like kind of like learned to do a lot more weird shit with our instruments. And it's like, let's do this. Like this is like a little bit more fun than the stuff we were doing before. Like let's try to take that energy from the skater punk, but start like make it a lot like darker and start like, we don't have to do like 3 power chords. Just start doing all that weird stuff off of like Elevator, where it's just like start using your amp to just kind of like squeal and get like feedback and do shit like that instead. So like for me at least, it was way more like grunge, but like the punk rock grunge. Like I said, like Territorial, like Pissings, like the fast Nirvana shit. I'm like, this is fucking cool. But
yeah.
I feel like by the time I came in, it was, I already like Queens of Stone Age, and you're like, listen to this album. And then Lullabies to Paralyze was like, robots fast, like 1,000 miles an hour in the desert type deal. Like,
yeah, we were definitely like really heavy into Queens of Stone Age when Travis joined. You can kind of hear it like, I mean, I can hear it because I guess I remember what we were listening to. But to me, like our album Monsters, sounds like we were like our songs got longer sometimes. We had these
Yeah.
minute long
I think
intros and shit.
I think the first song was like what 4 minutes on that one,
Yeah.
right? Isn't the first song something
Yeah,
like
that's
that?
like that's gonna be our longest song. I would
And it's
think.
got a kill. It opens with a killer bass line in it, and I was like I said, I was like, God damn it! I'm watching the clock, right? I'm like, all right, I got 2 minutes to finish this song before I have to hop on. So like when we get off, like I'm going right back to that record, so I can try to figure, like, listen to the rest of it. But yeah, no,
Hey,
I mean,
Trev, is smoking allowed on this show? Is this
I don't.
is this,
You do what you got to do.
I know this is a child show watching Dead Cats and Harassment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're good. I think you're good.
Okay. Cheat.
So what was the writing like for you guys? Like, was it real collaborative, or was it like someone brought something and then you guys worked off of that, or who was there a bone structure from one person at all times, or did you guys all kind of, hey, I got an idea?
I feel like that average like DCDR song, I feel like Chris was like the riff master. Like every time we jam, so it used to be like every day. We would jam like every day after school. I mean after work.
Yeah.
Most days. But like Chris would have like we'll call it a song like every other day. It was like it would be, for all intents and purposes, chord progression, couple riffs, and like a structure. And I feel like we would, like, most of our Dead Cat songs would start that way, and we jam them and and then like a melody, like typically would kind of take hold. And a lot of times it'd be the same structure, but I think sometimes we're like, oh wait, no, hold on, that should be the chorus, that part, not the other one, or whatever, But yeah, so usually I feel like it was pretty collaborative. But like Chris would have like a good bone structure typically for us.
But we
Right,
keep
that's
it loose because, I would just have like a bank of shit that I'd come up with on my own and then bring it. But we were playing together so, like, literally in those early days with Trav and for a few years, like literally 6 days a week, like every day but Sunday. It wasn't like us religious, but this literally. And so it's like at that point, because we've all kind of played together and in other bands, it's like, that was the most writing, that it was just like everyone's in the room and doing it all. Because it was literally like, see you tomorrow, see you tomorrow, see you tomorrow.
But dude, like when Matt would show up with a song, it would just be done and be perfect. And then every now and then you'd write the song that would happen like in the practice in 10 seconds and be like, yep, this one's done, this one's awesome. Like, but Chris definitely was like the one with an idea all the time, like pressing and be like, we should do this, like check out this.
I mean, I literally just would have like a bank of stuff that I liked, and that even if we came up with a cool part at practice and needed another part and I had one, I think it works, I'd just like switch the key and be like, how about we do this on the next part, and like move it to that key, and I'm like, there you go. So like, yeah, I still do that.
Yeah, like I remember Walls, like I kind of forgot about that. Like there were like, and I couldn't even tell you now which songs they are, but some of our songs that became songs, I think, started as like something different that you would just always play, like when we were like smoking cigarettes or something.
Yeah.
And it was a different progression, and we just kind of stole like the riff from that and turned that into what the other song became or something, like just having that band like you mentioned.
And that's where you get that, like in the earlier stuff too, in that chaos and kind of like riff rock. And it's like, you can see that it starts out like on the first albums that like real chaotic. And then we get a lot more like stoner metal and polished. And then we played so much together. It's like, we almost got sick of that. And like, you can see towards the end, it just starts reverting back to like, let's do closer to like Green Day, like 3 chords, structure everything around the melody instead of trying to like write all these like instrument parts. So like that's kind of like the arc. If you look at the Bandcamp, I feel like it follows that.
Yeah. When did you guys meet Steve? When did you guys like hook up with the label?
Towards the end, like towards the end of us last like playing. So that's like literally like, yeah, that like 2014, 2015 into like 2016 or whatever when that kind of we stopped playing as much.
Which album is the one with Dander? I feel like when there's a 5.
That's
Cut Your Sleeves Off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we did that one, and around that time we kind of met Steve and all those guys. But I can't remember now how it must have been at a show.
It was
I would
those
think.
cookouts that at O'Brien's.
Yeah, but he invited us to play those. Didn't we meet him before that? We must have met him before
I
that.
think the first one we played with him was like the first time we really met him in person. Yes, he asked us to play, but he was doing like the
Was it?
raffle.
I thought it was called
Oh,
Minor
that was a
Revolution.
great idea.
I mean, yes, Minor Revolution was there, and like we almost got in there. We played with like I remember the first one of those we played. The only ones we knew was Zip Tie. That's the guys in Zip Tie. We're like, Zip Tie's doing it. Let's go do it. And all of us being like babies didn't want to play on a Sunday, but it's like during the day. So like, let's go do it.
Hey, Trev, so this thing that he was doing, so Steve, right?
Yeah.
He, I want to say he booked O'Brien's, what was it, like every Sunday for a month for like June or something like that? Like, I think it was more than one, wasn't it? Or was it one day, one show?
No, so he did the residency with us, but he might have done other cookouts in the beginning and just invited us to be on that. He probably did do that. I mean, I don't think they were revolved around the one show we played. He probably did a few, and he asked us to play it. But I know for a fact that's like the first time I met him and started talking to him all the time. And it's almost more like it's like I had switched the type of work I do and sit on a computer all the time. So he's like, I'll email you. And so like I was talking to Steve the most just because like email back and forth and then like text. And so like that's kind of like that started that relationship.
Nice.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's what it was. So Trev, so he booked like it must have been like a Sunday matinee show or something at O'Brien's. And I was like, dude, this is gonna be a bummer of a show. But it was awesome. He had like it was like a punk rock barbecue.
Yeah.
So like the yard out on the side was open and it was grilling and it was awesome. It was such a cool show.
That's awesome.
Like it's such a cool way to turn around like a matinee show on like a Sunday.
Hell
yeah, it was great.
The older I've gotten, I love matinee shows now. Like,
oh hell yeah, that sounds like I don't want to play at 11. Like I'm in bed at 9 usually.
No.
Like the show coming up at Faces with you guys, like Faces is one of my favorite venues, but I live like 90 minutes away. So like,
Jesus.
It's one of those things, yeah. And like I'm sure as I keep doing like talking to the bands that are going to be on that bill, this will keep coming up. But like there was one night I was there and like I remember it was before the final act went on and I'm like, I need to go order food right now or I'm going to be sleeping in the fucking parking garage tonight. Like because it's like they got really good food, they've got really good beer, strong beer, and they have really good shows, right? So like it's definitely one of my favorite places to go, but I have to spread it out because it's so far away for me. You know what I mean? I live like in between Worcester and Providence, so like, to head out to Malden is like woof. You know, it's a haul, but it's worth it every time. I've never gone there and been like, well, that show was a bummer. You know what I mean?
That's one of my favorite venues to play at for sure. And like, or even just like, it's not even just to play at, like to just go to. Cause yeah, exactly. Like even if you're not playing too, it's like, exactly. There's like the good restaurant. It's an awesome bar and not like that big room and it's like actual stage. But yeah, I love that place.
It's a cool place. It's a cool place. But I will say like my favorite shows are like Midway matinees because it's probably the closest venue like toward like in like, you know, Boston adjacent to me. And like I can get home on Saturday at like 8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great now.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. It's awesome. Actually I just went a few weeks ago I took a Monday off because I get up at 4 a.m. for work. So like I took a Monday off because I knew I was going to a Sunday night show somewhere. And over this past weekend, I went and saw Blood for Blood, which was awesome. Like it was like, you know, so I was talking when Steve and I were meeting and talking about like doing all these things. I'm like, what is it about 2026 with this resurgence of like, you know, old bands coming back and doing either a reunion show or just getting back together, you know? And I'm here for it. Like I like it. And like I've told this story a million times, but like I'm from Rhode Island originally, like down like towards the Connecticut border. And when I discovered like Boston punk rock, like I was like, oh, I found a home. Like this is the music I really like. And like, and I've so many bands from here, like I just constantly listen to Even now, I mean, then to now. So like from the time I was, 19 years old to I'm 45, you know what I mean? I've been listening, and I always, wherever I am in the country, like, cause I've moved around a bit, but like, I always bring it with me. Like, I'm like, you guys got to hear this,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you got to hear this band, you got to hear
That's
this
awesome.
band, So it's I keep like for New England music, I wear like a badge of honor for it. Cause I just feel like, it really just is, I mean, Boston punk rock, but just New England music in general, I feel is a good representation of what we really are. In like we're like kind of like leathery skin, kind of rough around the edges, but kind people. You know what I'm saying? And like people who look at New England, they think we're either assholes or rich, and we're not. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, the music has always represented that for me, and so like I'm constantly listening to new bands from the area or bands who are no longer from the area that I never heard before, and again, it's just something that like it falls into my daily rotation of listening to music, because like there's no like I don't have Spotify or any of that stuff. I just use Bandcamp, and like back in the day you could listen to the radio and discover stuff, but it's all the same thing you hear on there now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I want to ask this, so because this is where it's going to fall into. This is probably the first time I've talked to a band that hasn't been a band in a long time, right? And now is this just like, let me ask, like, I don't know if I can edit this out if you guys don't want to talk about it, but like, what happened? Why did you guys stop playing?
Kids. 7 kids.
Well, all right, yeah. So kids, but
I'll let
in a
Poochie
sense,
start.
we all kind of kept playing in a way. So I think right around the time. So let me see. So I had kids first. My oldest, my first kid was born in 2016. So I think like kind of leading up to that, we would still jam every night, but then Chris's brother and his friends would come and jam right after us in the same jam spot. So like that whole summer, that whole year, there was like a layover period where like we're still like half our practice is going on, and this other band is rolling in, hanging out, and that kind of turned into us jamming with Chris's brother, like a lot. And so then we kind of like right around the time that my son was born, we were kind of like writing songs with the 3 of us in Dead Cats Dead Rats and Chris's brother. But like he was just kind of singing more lead. I'd kind of do some backups, and that became a band called Graneros that I played with a little bit. But then I kind of got like all of a sudden now I actually had kids, so I played like very, very little. But Travis and Chris continued with Graneros for a while at least, right? I don't even know when you guys stopped playing. Or do you guys still play?
A couple of years ago, we did a show like last year. But yeah, that's exactly kind of what happened. It's like, and like Dead Cats was playing, and like we were kind of like we had nonstop played, and there definitely was like some struggle to write songs, and we were all like me and Poochie being like string players, or both like writing all different types of stuff, not for like our style of Dead Cats. So that Graneros band is way more like, I'd call it like flat out garage rock. Like it goes to punk, but it's like old Kings of Leon and like to like rock and roll. And so we're like, let's just have both bands, but we can at least like write our non-punk shit into this. And like that kind of was the thing. And then like life kind of gets to, that's like where me and Poochie like hit our 30s. Me and Travis played with the Graneros and my brother a lot. And then it's even more confusing. Like all 3 of us eventually kind of had like the other band, Wicked Dead, which is like, we'll do Dead Cat songs. And that's a punk band that me and Poochie will still play with. And Travis has played in on Strums. But I'd say the difference there is it's like that for me, as far as you asked about writing before, that's like literally like my goal in that band. It's like everything's going to revolve around like the lyrics. We're not trying to like write all these like riffs or do anything. Like Like we're not doing the Dead Cats thing. That's like if you have to be able to play good on an acoustic guitar and sound good, and then with the band, like way more like early Green Day style. And like,
yeah.
and then for me, being parts of all those bands too, like a lot of people be like, you guys have the same people playing certain things. And I was like, at least the way I look at it is like, I would rather have like the groups of people who played together, like keep their art there. And if we have like even overlapping people and additional people, like keep those songs like in those groups. I didn't want to have like a version of Dead Cats that had like 6 different rotating people. There's nothing wrong with that. If y'all was a touring band and you're like making money and doing that shit, but that's not like our income. So it's like, I'd rather, for me personally, I'm not speaking of them, I'd rather like keep the art with those groups of people than just like, let's have this revolving thing where we all have different people playing these songs. It's like, no, just have your songs with each one. So that's the way I kind of look at it.
Yeah. Now, are you guys are you guys in other bands right now?
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess but it's with each other. I guess
Yeah.
so we'll get shit. So I guess so we'll get shit from like we'll play a show and like, oh, so it's Dead Cats Dead Rats. We're like, no, it's Wicked Dead. It's this. And like, yeah, but it's you and Woolsey. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not that band. It's this one.
Right.
And like,
It's
so
a way different flavor. It's like I'd want all those people to come to the Dead Cat show and hear Dead Cats play compared to Wicked Dead and be like, you get it now? Like
yeah.
It's a way different
Or even
taste.
compared to Graneros, yeah, it's a spectrum.
Yes. Yeah.
So here's a question that I normally ask, but I feel like you're kind of answering it for me now. Like each project does something differently for you internally then, right?
Yeah. For me,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
say,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
I
all
have
like
a
different
completely
role.
different approach.
Yeah. And like it does different things. Like I'll talk to people who like who in this band they play drums, in this band they sing, and it's like, and I ask them that, I'm like are you getting, like, is it fulfilling different things inside of you creatively to do that? You know what I'm saying? And it kind of sounds like that's what you're doing with these different projects, right?
Yeah, for like playing bass in each of those bands, like Dead Cats Dead Rats, I'm basically doing like the thing like the guy from The Who, like be a guitar and a bass and take up as much fucking space as possible. Like it doesn't matter it's coming from a bass. Like try to get all these parts in like a power like 3-piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then with that garage rock band Graneros, I'm like doing the opposite. Like I'd have a cool bass line and just strip it down, like make it as simple as possible. And then and this is just me for bass. And then with Wicked Dead, it's like everything I'm doing on bass, I'm like, I want it for at least most parts to be more like the guy in Green Day. Like these bass lines are trying to assist the melody versus like Dead Cats. You're like writing like lead riffs and doing all this riffage. It's like, no, it's just like the bass line isn't adding to the melody. Then I'd be like, I've tossed it out and be like, I want to write it to that. So I'm sure that'd be kind of the same for these guys. Like the style gets a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
I liked in Grenade. Well, I mean, I think I played on the first maybe 2 Graneros recordings and the first like handful of shows.
Yeah.
So like most of Graneros, I wouldn't say I was really like a part of, but when I was a part of it in the beginning, I liked that. Like I was like, oh, I'm just like, I don't have to sing. I can just do like the backup, like I can just do like little harmonies.
Eddie's awesome at it. Yeah.
Like I could be like Keith Richards instead, which was cool.
Poochie could add like because he's a great singer. Like he could do all these backups and like actual harmonies, and then like all these little lead salt and peppers on the other guitar. So like Graneros is fucking way cooler as a 4-piece. Like I would do a show with you in that again. It's like you can come in and add it because like that kind of Keith Richards role is really cool. But yes, to answer your question, Trev, exactly. It's like those approach in those 3 different bands. It's not like, oh, I'm going to do the same thing. Like I'd have a ton of songs in Graneros that I would never bring to the table because I'm like, this band can't play that. Like that's a Dead Cat song. And even like, yeah,
every person brings a different flavor too. Like,
yeah,
it's definitely different having a new member come in and try to bounce stuff off them and like how they interpret what you're doing. And
Yeah.
Right on, right on. So, all right. So, when was the last time that you guys like did the Dead Cats, Dead Rats thing together?
Dude, I don't think that we've even jammed Travis for. Like, I think the last time.
2018?
I think yeah, probably something like that. Because I feel like the last time I've even played with Travis was like right before or right after COVID. I think we all wore masks, or maybe we didn't, and it was
Yes.
before COVID.
So Trav,
We
to
played with
really
Steve
confuse it,
Halloween,
is Travis and the other drummer from Dead Cats, the first one, have both played in Wicked Dead. So
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
like,
this all gets way more confusing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now that I'm saying it out loud, it is ridiculously confusing. But yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
We've had like 5 bands with the same like 4 people.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, the chemistry, right? You guys have that chemistry, and if you're able to change that sound and do something different with it for a different project, I see no problem. I think that's pretty neat. I think that might have been the first time I've heard that. Like, it's the same personnel just doing a completely different thing. Really, you know.
I mean,
you
like kind of like the shirt I'm wearing. I think it's only one guy, but there might have been. But it's just like, I mean, guy from Blur just wanted to start like Gorillaz, but he's like doing all the Blur shit in it, but then adding all this other stuff to it. So it's kind of same idea.
yeah, that's cool.
It also makes showing Chris songs very, very easy.
Yeah.
Like, and vice versa. It's it's not hard for us to learn each other's songs. I already know what he's going to do. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
So
I know he wants to do this here.
Yeah.
Is there anything left in the tank for Dead Cats, Dead Rats? Like, are you guys have like new songs for this project?
We
I'm hoping I
haven't
just
jammed yet.
Roll up and play.
Yeah. We've been doing our homework and learning. At least I have. No, I know we have, but I don't know. You guys answer it the way you want, but I don't see any reason not to practice. Like, I have a jam space at my house here, like a soundproof room. We all got kids. Trav's kind of building a barn where we could jam there too, and I don't see any reason like why we can't get together and jam. And like the world's changed in the way it's like we have a whole album that is half finished. It's just all the tracking done with Richard Marr from Galaxy Park. So like I've talked to Richard and I might get those tracks from him. Like I do like recording of stuff with myself. So I might get those tracks. And then when we're jamming and doing this for the show, and there's kick-ass stuff there, and we're now used to playing that, it's like we can literally go demo them and finish those tracks in my jam space. You guys don't even know this, but I can record all of it. And then if 2 of them were kick-ass, like we can go to Richard and just finish them. So yes.
Yeah, dude, right. Like it's like so stupid. I don't know like why we did this, but we went to the studio, recorded like 10 or 12 new songs.
Yeah.
And then just like pretty much stopped doing everything.
We were burnt, dude. We were wicked. We were burnt out, man.
Yeah,
it's like we were wicked burnt out. It's like we had been playing us 3 nonstop for like 10 years almost, and like
6 nights a week.
Like a lot of bands would play like we practice like twice a month. I was like, what the fuck? Like that's it. But granted, they'll do it like it's funny. We have friends bands that do it. Like, yeah, we play like twice a month for like 3 hours, or like once a month for 3 hours. It's like we did like 45 minutes, like 5 days a week, and then that turned into like an hour and a half twice a week. So it's the same volume, just like yeah.
We were also playing like the midnight slot every time we would play a show too, and that got very old.
That sucked. Yeah.
Yeah.
you guys should headline at like 1 a.m. over and over again. Like everyone's gone home, and you're like, if I could go in the past and there's a younger band playing and that was happening to them, I'm like, you need to get a like agent figure. I know they're not called that day, but the guy needs or girl needs to know what they're doing, but also be intimidating enough. Like they're not fucking playing at that time, and let them be the asshole. Cause playing at 1:30 a.m. when there's like 50 people at the show, and then you do that 200 times to 5 people who are asleep at the bar was really a bad
I think
business
that definitely
move.
takes a toll. Yeah.
And so what screwed us, dude, was there was like 2 years, maybe it was 2010 and 2011 or something like that, where we won like 2 Boston Music Awards and 1 Boston Phoenix Award for like best punk band or best local punk band or something like that. And yeah, that sounds great, but then it screwed us because then we always got asked to like headline the show or play the show, and then have us play last because we won this award. But we're playing at 12:30. It's like my sister, our girlfriends, and like the other, and like half of the other bands. The sound guy.
Right on, yeah. No, I can see that. I can see that taking a toll, especially like the older you get too, right? Like it's like, you know. Well, I gotta say this, like one of the biggest things I like about just music from this area in general is people aren't afraid to get weird with it. And Dead Cats, Dead Rats definitely fits in that thing. Like I said, you guys were I feel like you were doing something different at the time you were doing it. Like where things were going more in like a poppier direction. You guys just totally wanted to be like just unhinged and like just have fun. And it's you can hear it in the sound, you know. I'm excited to see you guys play was it June 13th at Faces. I'm excited for this show. Like I really am. Like
thank you. Same.
Yeah. And like I've talked to like, you know, one other band so far, and I like I said, I've talked to Steve a bunch because like we kind of know each other from around doing this thing and him doing his thing, and like I'm like really excited for this show. I think it's going to be an awesome show. There's a lot of band. Hopefully you guys aren't playing last.
Second to last, but yes. I'll have to behave myself. I think I'm not going to let myself have a Poochie. No beer for me until like the band before us, and then I'll have like those 2 beers, and then after that, they're going to fucking start coming.
Well, their beers are like 10% there, so like
I've never been there. This is my first time too. Yeah,
Trav, it's fucking awesome. Trav, it's Ryan. You know Ryan. O'Brien's Ryan. Yeah. Ryan the man. Like he's got our foot in the door there. And then Steve reached out to Ryan for this. And awesome fucking dude. Yeah.
It's technically all ages, but your kids probably not going to be up till 1:30.
Yeah.
So.
My kids are always there for some reason because my wife
kids will be out.
They'll be there probably till like fucking midnight with their headphones on. I'll be like, whatever. They'll sleep.
Are your kids into music? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mine are really young. Mine are the youngest. My oldest is 3.5, but he loves drums, as most kids are starting to seem like do. Like, he saw my bass, like at least the one on the wall, and he always goes, if I play that bass, he goes and grabs the guitar, goes, Dad, no, play the real guitar. Play the real guitar. Like, even him makes fun of me.
Good man.
Yeah.
Smart boy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, listen, I hope I hope we get some new DCDR music. I hope things start moving with this project too. I'm going to check out your other projects now that I know you have them, and I think that would be cool. I would love to have you guys back, and we could talk about like the comparison. You know what I mean? Like,
Trav, definitely. I'm gonna get my hooks in them, then lock them in the basement. I'm like, we're finishing this album.
Hell yeah! If you need someone to stand guard at the door, I'm available.
Yeah, love it.
But I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys on June 13th, and I'll buy the first round.
Yeah, very much appreciated. One last thing, it's funny is my last company I worked at, my boss was named Trevor Allen. And when I got your emails, I go, what the fuck does he want? I liked him. I was like, oh, glad to hear from him. Like, this is really random. Yeah. And I saw, I'm like, small world, man.
Yeah, I was telling Travis before you guys hopped on that Chris, one of my producers, he's out of Buffalo, and he has a show that revolves around Western New York music. Yeah. And I went to go check out his newest episode one day, and it was like with the guest was Trevor Allen. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like,
yeah,
and it was some other guy, and I was like, I hit him up. I'm like, he better not be taller than me. You know what I mean?
Is he more handsome than me? Be honest. Like, you're.
Hey, again, thanks for doing this, guys, and we'll June 13th. Hopefully, we'll get a good crowd out there for you.
Hell yeah, man.
Thanks a lot for having us, bud.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and that's the show. I want to thank Dead Cats, Dead Rats again for being today's guest on the Struggling Artist Podcast. In the show notes, you will find links to their Bandcamp, you will find links to their social media, and you will find a link to go get a ticket for the Ocelot Records 10-year reunion show on June 13th. I want to thank Chris Chavez, Jeff Bousquet, Aria Rad, Ryan Cowell, and Dave Anderson, the Struggling Artist Podcast All-Stars. I like that, All-Stars. Check them out on social media. Chris at 716 The Sound, Jeff at JRB Image, Aria at Coffin_Salesman, Ryan at 13th Floor _Ryan, and Dave at Pinball_Punks. I want to thank Losers Circle for always letting us use their song, The Great Illusion of Time, off of their album Took Long Enough. It's a great album. If you've been listening to all 430 episodes, oh, well, I guess we started using their song like in episode 200-ish. But anyway, you can go to our website, thestrugglingartistpodcast.com, click the link under sponsors for Loser Circle, and it will bring you to their Bandcamp where you can order that record. It's a really good fucking record, I'm telling you. I want to thank everyone who's supporting us over at Patreon. If you want to become a patron, head to patreon.com/podcast TSA. Check us out. If you listen to this podcast, thank you. If you, interact with us, thank you. If you send us a text message or a voicemail to the Struggling Artist Hotline, I thank you. I haven't checked it in a while, but I'm going to check it right now after this. So if you want to leave us a message, the number to call is 774-570-1552. I really do appreciate when people leave this stuff. I wish we had more interaction on the phone line. Whatever. It's another phone line. I mean, I don't use it often. But if you want to leave us a text or shoot us a voicemail, the number to call is 774-570-1552. All right, it's time to get out of here. We have a song to play. This is Dead Rats, Dead Cats. The song is called Radio Face. And if you're going to see them in June, I will see you there. Until next week, take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you then.